Have you ever walked into a room and felt like the conversation suddenly changed? Or noticed that someone you care about started acting cold for no reason at all? You probably brushed it off as overthinking, but here's a psychology fact you're not ready for. Your name is currently being spoken in rooms you haven't stepped into yet, and it's causing a spiritual earthquake. Most people don't realize this, but your brain has been lying to you about coincidences. That sudden distance you feel from someone isn't a random mood shift, it's the result of two specific voices whispering in the dark, trying to decide if you're a blessing or a threat. Today, the Lord is interrupting your scroll because He's tired of you being judged by people who only know your shadow and not your light. Psychologists call this the echo chamber effect, but in the kingdom, we call it spiritual sabotage. There is a connection in your life right now that feels stuck. You've prayed, you've been kind, and you've been patient, yet there's an invisible wall standing between you and the one you love. Once you understand the psychology of influence, you'll see why you act the way you do, and why they are suddenly hesitating. Your relationships and your peace are being influenced by a pattern of third-party interference. You aren't just dealing with one person, you are dealing with the two voices closest to them. These voices act as a filter. Everything you do, every text you send, every move you make, is being filtered through the opinions of people who might be committed to the old version of the person you love. This matters because until the target of your affection learns to listen to their own spirit, they are being held hostage by the fears of their circle. But here's where it gets even worse, and this is the part where most people stop watching because they don't want to believe that the people around them could be the problem. Most people stop here and think, if they loved me, they wouldn't listen to others. That's the biggest mistake. Even the strongest hearts can be poisoned by a consistent whisper. Psychology says people don't ignore you because they're busy, they ignore you because they don't value you, or because someone they value told them not to. Here's the painful part, your brain chooses comfort over growth every single time. The person you care about is currently choosing the comfort of their friends' opinions over the growth of a connection with you. The dark truth. One of those voices is acting as a gatekeeper of the past. They don't want your loved one to be with you because your light exposes their darkness. If the person you love levels up with you, the friends get left behind. So, they label your passion as intensity, your boundaries as control, and your silence as manipulation. They aren't protecting their friend, they are protecting their own access to a version of that person that is easy to manage. But here is the part nobody wants to admit, and this next part explains why you've been feeling so heavy lately. It's because you've been picking up on a conversation you weren't invited to. This next part explains why your life hasn't changed yet, and how that the second voice is actually the key to your breakthrough. This happens because your spirit has reached a threshold of impact. You aren't just anyone, you are a disruptor. The first voice, the jealous guardian. Psychologically, this person is suffering from in-group favoritism. They view you as an out-group threat. They whisper, "Are you sure about them? They seem a bit much." Their goal is to create micro-doubts. These aren't huge lies, they are small seeds planted in fertile ground. Over time, these seeds grow into a wall of hesitation. The second voice, the silent witness. This is the person who actually sees the truth. They've noticed how the person you love becomes better when you're around. They see the peace in their eyes when they speak your name. This voice is currently in a battle with the first voice. This is the cognitive dissonance your loved one is feeling. Their heart says, yes, but the first voice says, wait. The spiritual reality, your mind thinks this is just social drama, but the reality is it's a battle for the jurisdiction of a soul. God is using this season of whispering to test the discernment of the one you love. He is allowing the voices to speak so the person can finally choose between the opinion of man and the direction of the Spirit. Your brain does this to protect you from rejection, but the reality is you are being hidden while the witness begins to speak up. The second voice is about to become louder than the first. The truth is coming to the surface, and no amount of secret gossip can stop a divine appointment. If that hit you, good. It means you needed it. Here's the truth you've been avoiding: you've been trying to prove yourself to people who are paid by the enemy to never believe in you. Stop explaining yourself to the choir of the blind. If it hit you, it's because you've been wasting your sacred energy on people who don't have the clearance to understand your calling. If you want to break this cycle, start with the posture of the vindicated. Here's the mental trick that actually works. Step 1: the sacred silence. Stop trying to defend yourself in the physical. Every time you try to correct a lie, you feed the fire. When you stay silent, you force the whisperers to trip over their own words. Silence is the ultimate psychological disruptor. Step 2: the affirmation of rank. Each morning, place your hand on your head and say, "I am not who they say I am who he says I am. My reputation is in the hands of the King." You are resetting the mind-body contract, telling your nervous system that you are safe even when you are misunderstood. Step 3: the holy distance. Withdraw your energy. Let the person you love feel the void of your absence. This forces them to confront the voices of their friends against the reality of their own heart. When the noise of the crowd is gone, the voice of God becomes the only thing they can hear. This is the mental trick: you win the connection by being willing to lose it for the sake of your peace. Most people will ignore this. They'll go right back to checking their phone, looking for validation, and wondering what they are saying. They'll stay exactly where they are, trapped in a prison of other people's opinions. Don't be most people. You are a chosen one. You are a masterpiece, and masterpieces don't ask for permission to be beautiful. The realm has adjusted, and the truth is already out. Walk like someone who knows the judge has already ruled in your favor. The secret conversations are being exposed. Now, it's time for you to finally breathe.